What does it take to turn a kind heart into something harder, something unbreakable? Why do they transform in ways that make others look twice, or maybe even look away? People often ask what happened to them. But the real question isn't what happened, it's why it happened. Why would anyone choose to become the monster? And the truth is, no one chooses it lightly. The monster isn't born in a moment. It's made over time, shaped by pain, betrayal, and hardship. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us to limits we didn't even know existed. We face disappointments, heartbreaks, and losses that strip away the innocence piece by piece. Each hurt leaves a mark. Each betrayal adds a layer. And at some point, after enough scars have formed, something inside begins to shift. A decision is made, often silently, to stop being vulnerable, to stop letting others take advantage, to stop allowing pain to keep cutting deeper. It's not that we want to become something harder or tougher, but we feel we have no choice. Every hurt, every betrayal, every unfair situation pushes us closer to a new self, a self that's protected, guarded, unwilling to be hurt again. People might call this becoming the monster, but they don't know the path that led here. They see the armor, the toughness, but they don't see the wounds underneath. They don't know the years of pain and the countless moments that shaped this transformation. They only see the end result, the exterior, that now seems unbreakable. But they forget that this monster wasn't always here. It had to be created, carved out by life itself. This isn't about turning into something cruel. It's about survival, about finding strength in places no one else would look, about knowing that the world isn't always kind, that people aren't always fair, and that sometimes, to survive, you have to be the one who no longer flinches, no longer bows. So before anyone asks why you became the way you are, they should ask themselves what they might become if they walked the same road. This transformation is a response, a reaction to everything life has thrown your way. It's not something to be judged or apologized for. It's simply the cost of survival, the price of resilience in a world that doesn't always allow softness. Sometimes, the world doesn't give you the luxury of staying soft. You may start with good intentions, with kindness, with an open heart. But life has a way of testing those intentions, of challenging that kindness until it feels almost like a weakness. What do you do when you realize the world isn't fair? When you see that kindness is often met with coldness, that trust is taken advantage of? In a harsh world, sometimes the only way to survive is to build walls, to put on armor, to become the very thing you once feared. This isn't about becoming heartless. It's about protecting yourself. It's about understanding that, in some places, survival means being tough, not just on the outside, but in every part of you. It means learning to stand up for yourself, to say no when you need to guard what matters. Many people may call it becoming a monster, but it's only a monster to those who've never had to live it, to those who've never known what it's like to face constant challenges, standing alone. They don't understand that sometimes survival requires transformation, a shift from being the person you were to the person you need to be. Imagine being a person who never pushes back, who always absorbs every blow, who never stands their ground. That person breaks. That person loses themselves. To survive in a world that demands strength, you have to find strength, even if it means changing, even if it means hardening in ways you never expected. This isn't about being cruel or selfish or losing compassion. It's about respecting your own boundaries. It's about seeing the reality of the world around you and adjusting to face it head on. It's understanding that sometimes the only way forward is to be the strongest version of yourself, even if that means becoming a version others don't understand. They may call it the monster, but to you it's just self-preservation. It's just what's necessary to stand in a world that doesn't always welcome softness. So why apologize for becoming the person who can withstand anything? Why feel regret for building a self that refuses to be broken? You didn't choose this path lightly. The world pushed you to it. And that, in itself, is reason enough to never apologize. When people talk about the monster, they're quick to judge. They see a hardened exterior, a fierce gaze, and a steady, unbreakable stance, and they assume it's cruelty or coldness. But what they're missing is the truth. Becoming this way has given you strength that runs deep. It has turned you into someone who cannot be easily shaken. Transformation isn't about becoming less human. It's about embracing every part of what life has made you. Each trial, each test, has added to your resilience, layer by layer. You've faced moments that would break others, and instead of shattering, you adapted. You found strength in the pain, courage in the hardship, and focus in the chaos. You became someone who doesn't just survive, but stands strong. When people call it the monster, what they're really seeing is a strength they don't understand. They don't know what it takes to go through darkness and come out not just alive, but powerful. It's easy to label strength as cold when they don't know the warmth that once existed underneath it. But strength, true strength, doesn't apologize for what it's become. It stands firm, even when misunderstood. The path you've walked hasn't been easy. You didn't choose to face betrayal or hardship or loss. But you did choose to survive it, to endure it, and to let it make you stronger. This strength isn't the kind that asks for permission. It doesn't wait for approval. It's silent, steady, and it doesn't waver. And that's exactly why it's powerful. People often fear what they don't understand. They look at you and see what they could become if they faced the same trials. That's why they talk about the monster. But in reality, it's a strength they don't possess. It's a reflection of resilience, of courage, and of survival. This transformation, this strength, is your own. It's built from the experiences that have shaped you, from the scars that have healed, and from the boundaries you now set. It's a reminder that you have become someone who cannot be easily broken, someone who has weathered storms and come out stronger each time. So why apologize? This strength has been earned. Each scar, each moment of pain has brought you here, to a place where you can stand tall, unshaken. Let others call it the monster. You know what it truly is. Unbreakable strength, forged by everything you've faced. Why should you feel guilty for becoming strong? Why apologize for adapting to a world that pushed you to your limits? For surviving in ways others may not understand? Guilt has no place here. You are not responsible for the way the world shaped you. You are responsible only for how you survived it. People may expect an apology for the way you've changed. They want to see you softened, even vulnerable. But what they don't understand is that this transformation wasn't a choice you made lightly. It was born from necessity, from self-preservation, from understanding that the only way forward was to become stronger. When they call it the monster, they're only seeing the surface. They don't see the years of hardship, the countless battles, the silent moments of resilience. They want you to feel guilty for the way you've built yourself. But that guilt is theirs, not yours. You don't owe anyone an apology for the ways you've protected yourself, for the strength you've created out of necessity. To feel guilt for this strength is to ignore the battles you've faced. It's to undermine the resilience you've earned. When you look back at everything that's happened, every struggle you overcame, every moment you chose to stand tall, guilt doesn't belong there. What belongs is pride, gratitude for the strength you've gained, and respect for the journey you've walked. This isn't about closing off, or losing empathy, or becoming indifferent. It's about knowing that in a world that often tries to break you, you chose to stay whole, to protect what's important. You chose to be strong, even if it meant becoming someone others don't fully understand. Guilt holds you back. It makes you question your worth, your choices, your strength. But when you reject guilt, you embrace freedom. Freedom to live without constantly apologizing for who you are. Freedom to stand in your strength without needing others' approval. The truth is, you owe no apologies for surviving, for transforming, for being resilient. You are here because you adapted, because you refused to break, and no one has the right to make you feel guilty for that. Releasing guilt is not only freeing, it's empowering. It's recognizing that you've earned the right to be unapologetically yourself. So let go of the guilt. Let go of the need for others to understand. Stand firm in the strength you've built, knowing it's not a flaw, but a fortress, a shield that keeps you moving forward, unshaken and unapologetically strong. In the end, you are who you are now because of every challenge, every trial, every difficult moment. You've built yourself from the ground up, transforming into someone strong, someone resilient. And now you stand here, unapologetically embracing the person you've become. There's power in accepting yourself fully, strength in standing by who you are without needing anyone's validation. You didn't choose this path by chance. You became this person because life demanded it, because the world pushed you to it, because survival required it. Accepting this new self means understanding that you are no longer the same, and that's okay. You've grown beyond the version of yourself that was once soft, easily broken. You've evolved into someone who can face anything without flinching, without hesitation. This isn't a weakness. It's a strength you've earned, a power that's yours to keep. Others may never understand the journey you've walked, the battles you've fought, or the strength it took to become this version of yourself. But that's not for them to understand. This acceptance isn't about them. It's about you. It's about knowing deep down that the person you've become is exactly who you need to be. True acceptance means no apologies, no regrets. It means looking at the person you see in the mirror and feeling pride, respect, and gratitude for every scar, every lesson, every moment that led you here. This isn't just about being strong on the outside. It's about embracing the core of who you are now. So, why should you apologize for the monster others might see? Why should you regret becoming someone capable of withstanding life's hardest moments? You've earned the right to stand in your strength, to accept yourself fully, and to live without apology. In a world that often misunderstands strength, be unapologetically true to yourself. Let others see what they want, but you know the truth. This new self is powerful, resilient, and ready for whatever comes next. You've embraced the transformation, accepted your strength, and now you are unstoppable. This is your truth. This is your strength. Embrace it, accept it, and move forward with pride. Because the person you've become is exactly who you were meant to be.